strike buying Purplebricks. Today, I'm joined by Jon Cooke, big in the game at Nurtur Group, who used to be the owner of Easy Property, and Damon Bullimore, who is Chief Technological Officer with Brief Your Market and Nurture. Jon, what's your thoughts on strike buying Purplebricks for £1?
Well, big news in the industry, and there's obviously been quite a lot of change in the online estate agency landscape over the last 5 to 6 years, and we're left with two, really, I suppose, Strike and Purplebricks, and now they're becoming one. I think Strike is a well-run business by Sam. They've actually got quite a good understanding of how to maximise opportunities using data in terms of extra revenue, because that's how they make their revenue.
I mean, it should have been free, shouldn't it? Because the state, Strike is free.
Well, possibly. I mean, they've built a business off the back of, and it'll no doubt get commented on by other people in the industry, but they built a business off the back of monetizing the opportunity outside of just the estate agency fee, which I think is interesting, and maybe we as sort of traditional estate agents, if you like to see ourselves, can learn from that in some ways. But I think if you put the ability of Strike's financial services business against the brand of Purplebricks and the reach of that brand, then potentially they could have quite an interesting business.
Do you think the online market could come again? We had, I mean, let's be honest, you lot bought many years ago Easy Property. A lot of big regional firms were planning online offerings under a separate brand. Why do you think the online market didn't take off? I mean, we're filming this in the third week of May. There's an article in the property industry today, where Paul Smith, boss man of Spicer Heart, says it was never going to take off. Do you think it could have taken off if things would have been differently?
I think two reasons it didn't take off, and I think probably will always be around 5 to 7%, if that now, and no more. One, you're dealing with the customer's biggest asset in most cases, and it's a reasonably and if it's a lettings transaction, it's a reasonably compliant process, and people just don't necessarily want to do it themselves when it's something you don't do every day of your life. If you go on to Deliveroo and book a takeaway every day of your life, well, that's fairly easy. But when you move home very rarely, and you transact a lettings transaction very rarely, you tend to want more human interaction. So that's one of the reasons why it didn't work. And then the second reason is actually the price point. I think for the actual business, didn't stack up. The
cost of acquisition was higher than the...
Yeah, I mean, if you look at what Purplebricks spent on building their brand against the return on the amount per unit they were achieving, it just didn't stack up, did it? We all knew that, really, and it's just come home to roost.
If you actually look at the stats, when it comes to how many houses that you put on the market versus what you actually sell, Purplebricks were one of the best in the UK. So, they were actually doing the job they got paid to do.
I'm not so sure the stats played that out, but certainly, as we all know as estate agents, you've got to get it to sell it. So if you're able to list a property and you list it at a correct and sensible price, you give the right advice to the customer, then the likelihood is you will sell it. So if you've got a machine that's built around spending a hell of a lot of money to attract customer eyeballs onto a platform, and then they're able to transact, then the likelihood is, if they're pricing the property sensibly, they will sell the home. The problem is that the economics don't stack up in continuing to spend that amount of money to get the eyeballs onto the platform. That's another reason why it didn't work. And there is actually a third reason as well, and that's really what evolved Nurtur Group in a way, is estate agents have embraced technology. So that what you would call, don't like the word, traditional estate agents have embraced technology in that 5 to 6 year period. And a lot of them now are doing things with technology better than Purplebricks were, possibly are. And the next stage of agents, I think, understanding what opportunities are there is how they use their data and make sure they monetize and attract customers from using their data.
Because Purplebricks, when it launched in 2014, was quite cutting edge technology, wasn't it, Damon?
Yeah, definitely. It was cutting edge technology, but I think that's the bit that Jon was talking about, is traditional, and again, I agree with John, I don't like the word traditional because they're professional estate agents. And we're talking about lots of the technology that Purplebricks just managed to beat them at the post. I think professional estate agents now have really caught up with that tech, and I know there's another video talking about the ecosystem where we're helping with regards to that. I just wanted to make one comment on why I personally don't think the market share of online will grow, and that's because cost of houses are going up, and actually people staying inside their houses is getting longer and longer. So, whereas it used to be on average every 7 years people move, it's more like every 15 years. And therefore, when you're doing something once every 15 years, you want a professional that's going to guide you through it and consult you. And there's no one better than the high street agent, as far as I'm concerned.
Any final thoughts, John?
No, I'd agree with Damon. As I say, the merger will be interesting to see how it plays out. But it's got the potential to be an interesting business, I think.
I think there's a place for all businesses in the estate agency. So thank you for your time and thank you for your insight today, gentlemen.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.